Well, hundreds of child sex abuse victims who claim the Catholic Church protected their abusers say they're one step closer to justice. Chief Investigator Andrew Epperson tells us about a major settlement agreement and introduces us to a man who is standing taller than ever, even though the abuse nearly ruined his life.
Nobody talked about it.
Steve McAvoy remembers the days he didn't have a voice.
Talking about a priest, a nun, or anything negatively was a mortal sin.
But the real mortal sin, McAvoy says, happened here at St. Matthew the Apostle Catholic Church when he was a student in the late 70s.
I was actually sitting in classrooms being sexually assaulted.
Investigators say Deacon George Brignac preyed on young boys for decades. In 2019, Brignac was arrested and indicted on child rape charges, the final legal actions against him after decades of arrests, acquittals, and more accusations.
He wanted me to be an altar boy, and I refused after he started sexually assaulting me.
McAvoy says the abuse drove him to alcohol and aimlessness.
I went from there.
Years later, watching television, a familiar name popped up on McAvoy's screen.
George Brignac, and I lost it.
McAvoy shared his secret with his wife.
It took a long time, and within a year, I walked in the door, totally intoxicated, and said, either you get me to a hospital, or I'm going to kill myself.
Decades of despair deepened when Brignac died in 2020, waiting for trial.
It took a long time.
Enjoying the view.
The view, much better these days.
And then he found his voice, and actually read a book that helped you.
Lawyer Frank Lamott says some justice is in sight, with a $230 million settlement set to pay out survivors and set up new child protection protocols.
I think this was the best deal that could be secured under the circumstances.
Lamott says there's still a long way to go. This week, parishes and charities linked to the Archdiocese of New Orleans filed for bankruptcy, and there's still questions about payouts and timelines.
Now, though, it look like we're getting close to the end.
In September, New Orleans Archbishop Gregory Amen said in a statement, "I remain very hopeful and committed to bringing this bankruptcy to a conclusion that benefits the survivors of abuse. Please know that I pray for the survivors of abuse every day and look forward to the opportunity to meet with them, to hear their stories."
And they need some relief to make their lives better. And it's always, I look at my job as how can I make somebody's life better? And so this is some pathway to help do that.
I don't want that to happen again.
McAvoy remembers the days he didn't have a voice. How could he forget?
The feelings at the moment were terrible.
But today, that voice is clear.
Correct.
In saying dollars don't undo what's been done.
I can tell you that I think it's still unfair.
But by sharing his story,
You're going to be held responsible.
McAvoy says he wants a say in what comes next.
It's not our position to destroy the church. It's our position to hold the church accountable.
In New Orleans, I'm Chief Investigator Andrew Epperson.
The settlement details are still being worked out, but documents show more than 600 victims are expected to receive money. McAvoy says he wants state lawmakers to take a stronger role in addressing child sexual abuse in the church.